with conversation, hot topics. For those relating, it's a pretty dope conversation. Be some pretty dope chicks with conversation, hot topics. For those relating, it's a pretty dope conversation.
So we were on Zoom and Zoom blocked us off, right? So we have to go live. This is our first actual A Pretty Dope Conversation live, and our title and topic, we were talking about being in love or being in love with not being alone, right? And I think that it's a great topic. This is Shay Biggs, I'm D-Mac, and this is our girl Keisha, who has joined us for the conversation. Right, so I don't know, where we want to start off now, because now we have new viewers.
So basically, we was just talking about, like she said, are you in love with being in love or not in love with being alone?
Are you in love with
being in love, or you in love with not being alone?
That, yeah, like basically, do you have a fear of being by yourself for whatever reason it may be? Sorry for the mishap, it happens.
Right.
You know, we'll get better as time goes on. We just need y'all to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend.
Right.
Okay?
And listen, God may wanted us to have a bigger platform. He may have thought that some other people that were not in that Zoom needed to be on this call. So guess what?
We here.
We here,
Hey.
right? We here.
Hey.
So basically, again, like we were saying, we were just talking about love, right? And first of all, we needed to identify whether or not you actually know what love is, right? And if you know what love is to you, do you understand what being in love is, so you can identify whether or not this is love, or is this you just wanting to stay in something for security, or whatever they call it. I can't leave this relationship because I have children. I can't leave this relationship because I don't have enough money to live on my own, whatever it is,
It's
but the fear
always
of being
something,
alone, right? And so that's what we were talking about. So now, since we can't get the feedback from our Zoom members, we're going to have to read, but we're going to have to talk more amongst ourselves.
And we good. We can see y'all. We can see y'all. We got you on the TV screen. So if y'all type in a question, we can answer it. If y'all put in a comment, we can read it and read it out loud so everybody else. Well, everybody can see what everybody's saying. So also, it's another thing with this thing. Like when you have a person who's in fear, basically, or of being alone, they serial date or they relationship hop. Now, if that's your friend, sister, cousin, mother, whatever the case may be, do you tell them your concerns, or do you let them live their life? Because I've had a few friends, close people, whatever you want to call them, that I feel like they don't know they self, and then they get stuck in a relationship where they become complacent and content. And it's like, are you wrong for letting them know like what you see from the outside looking in? It's not judgment or anything like that. You just see like a problem that they may not see, or it may not be a problem to them, but it's a problem to everybody else in the world. But do you tell that friend, like,
if it's a true friend,
hey,
you should be able to tell them.
what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
do you tell them like, what are you doing? Like, this girl is this, that, this, and the third, or this guy is this, that, and the third. Like, what are you doing? Why?
Right.
Or because you don't want to spend time alone to get to know yourself. Like,
But what I learned, because I was in a relationship, right, and I don't want to say that the person was a bad person, because ultimately the person was a good person, and I think that the relationship could have been a gift and a curse, right? So sometimes God just don't want you to end up there, right? He needs you to get something while you're in it.
Right.
And so I got so much, I matured so much, I gained so much wisdom. I was forced to kind of indulge more into my word, into fasting, into reading, into learning, into doing those things, which was important to create the person that I am today, right? But I didn't care what anybody said. Everybody said, or it was a few people who could identify that there was something wrong, and even when they said it, no matter what somebody tells you, you only going to do what you want to do until you get it yourself. So you can tell me, you can give me as much advice as you want, but that person is not going to move because you gave them advice. It has to be something that they actually need to feel. So sometimes if you do that as a friend, it's going to take you a little bit of patience, to have a little bit of patience, because you may have to say it over and over and over again until they actually get it. Because my justification for everything was that the Bible says the race is not given to the swift. You know, I'm always saying God said I had to endure to the end. This was my thing. I was justifying it.
Somebody just put up like, oh, something about it, maybe a lesson or something like that.
And that's what and at the same time, it was. And again, I don't think that it was all so bad, but I needed to go through, because and I'm going to say that because being in the situations that I was in prior, I was not getting it. Mm-hmm. The people who I had dated or I was married, and whatever the situation was, I was not getting what I felt like, or what maybe God thought that I needed from that person. Because sometimes you can marry prematurely, right? You marry who you say you want to marry.
And that has nothing to do with God.
Exactly. That could not even be the person. So you see what I'm saying? And so now you mess up the whole journey. And so sometimes you do these things in between.
You take a back step.
Exactly.
Now you gotta wait until this is over so you see the light, and then start all over again. But in between starting all over again, you should take the time to
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, even if you had to come and told me at that time, you know what, Denise, you shouldn't do that. I don't know. I can say. I mean, I feel like God is the type of God that He deals with me in a way that I have to physically go through so that I can understand. Okay. Because I had friends who were going through this, and I'm like, just leave him. Just leave him. That's you crazy. He's doing his leave. Like, she's stupid. Why is she staying there? Until I was in a situation where it was so simple. I'm like the strongest person I know, and I could not do it. Like for whatever reason, I could not do it. So you just have to get it. Sometimes.
See, I'm one that I think I have before. I've let just a little bit of my friends, you know, it's a lot of them, but just a handful know, or just ask them a question like, you know, why? Like, why you doing this? Or why you there? But never telling them to leave. Always telling them, give 100% before you give nothing at all.
Right.
So you can leave with a clean slate. 100%. You know?
That's me. So let's read some of these comments. I got like
I see a couple of people saying that, yeah, you're a true friend. I see she said that. Yeah. Rosa said it, you're a true friend, you know, right here. Yes, I did that for years. Okay.
Yeah. So right here we have Maddie, that's my cousin. She said love has many levels to it, and it's based on the dynamics.
It does.
And we have somebody else who said that they think that they were afraid of being alone. And that's true. I think that's true for a lot of us. But I think that we don't want to say that, so we give it another excuse, right? We won't say, well, I don't want to be by myself. So we just like, oh, no, I can't right now. Now's not the time. Or he needs me. Or the kids need their dad. Or they need this. And they stay in these relationships that are just not good because they don't want to be by themselves, because they don't want to have that restart.
And sometimes, because I can remember experiencing being too comfortable with being alone, that I didn't have that working out mechanism.
Yes.
As soon as something went wrong, gotta go.
That was
gotta
me.
go.
That was me.
I'm quick to go.
That was
Didn't know how
me.
to work it out.
And I thought that was okay.
I'm too comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
But that's not how things work.
I thought that was okay.
Something breaks, you get it fixed.
Right.
You don't always replace it.
Right.
That refrigerator breaks, you go try to get a new, because it's too expensive to go get a new one. Let me try to get that fixed.
Right.
But as soon as something happened with a friend or a person, gotta go.
That's right.
You gotta go. No.
I think that's me, though.
So I was at one point too comfortable with being alone. It's like, okay, wait, sis, this not right.
That's right.
This not right. You're not gonna be with nobody.
Right.
If you keep doing this.
Right.
My thing was like, bye.
Quick to say bye.
That was my thing. Bye.
Oh, listen, Rosa said she's like that too.
Yeah.
And so did Letitia. Tisha, you
and
like that?
I
think you are like that, Tisha, but I think we're one and the same. You know, I think that I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she said to me, she's like, Ma, you know, I think you can find anything that you don't like, because it could be something very small. It could be, if you bite your fingernails too low, I don't like that. You know, so I'm like, who wants somebody caressing their face and you got bitten fingernails? Like, I could come up with whatever it is, and I felt like it just wasn't what I like. I could just find a reason, because I just don't like that.
See,
you know,
now conversation 2, which is the topic, is changing. The dynamics is changing because now that's a preference.
Right, exactly. That's another conversation. But yeah, and I was just like that. Like, I really feel like I've gotten to a certain age that I don't need to tolerate a lot of stuff. And I think that it's a double-edged sword, though, right? Because you can tolerate too much, right? So we gotta know, we gotta be a type of balance. Like, that doesn't mean, okay, we're not saying that we want to run and we want to let things go, you know, easily. But there's some things that you know for sure, because you've experienced, You got signs.
Mhm.
Some people feel like they didn't know that he was abusive. You knew. You knew that when that aggression came, you knew when he was talking you knew certain things, and there's certain things that us as women that we've had experienced, just like men, that you know it's a sign. You know if she's a gold digger.
Right.
You know that you saw this before.
Right.
So sometimes I might just say, you know what, I'm not doing that because I saw that before and I already understand. You know, there's something that's triggering. You know, you got to go with your gut sometimes, and your gut is going to tell you better than anybody else can tell you.
Right.
You know, you got to know that. And so sometimes, you know, you can't go too far, right? Especially at this age, I don't have that kind of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm knocking 50
I like
on
what
the door.
Angelica said. She said set boundaries without being shallow.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
it doesn't mean that it's not about like just always blocking blessings and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that you have to accept anything neither.
Right. That's
Just-
right.
Just to be in love.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right. Or just to get love. Because how are you going to have love when you're accepting something that is not truly what you want to accept? Right? When I'm just doing it because I want to have this thing that is really not true. So you can also
And then
have
you can
somebody
make
who
yourself
loves you
unhappy.
that you don't love.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. Somebody can love you and you don't even love them.
That's
Right?
true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
And there's a difference between it.
Doesn't make it wrong though.
What?
Because you can't stop who loves you.
Right.
But I mean,
But
you
you
can
can't-
stop whether or not you stayed in it.
You
Why are
can.
you staying
Yeah.
in something? Like, I'm a true believer that, you know, you have to learn how to communicate.
But
and
it's
you have to
levels.
get it right.
It's like just because they love now don't mean you can't love later. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I mean, I hear
because
you,
I can say that someone can love me right now, but I know that I can't love them. So I'm not going to give you that energy
Right.
because I know it wouldn't be fair to you.
Right.
Because the way you want to love me, I don't have it back to give to you.
And is it fair for them or me to wait, right? So if you do love me and I wait for you, right, and
Well,
then
I'm
I
gonna
never
want
love
to
you, right?
And so you could be loving someone
Somebody
else
else
that way.
could
It's
love
also
you.
not fair to them.
Right?
Right.
So like, why would I stay in that? And that is just that's true. And it's very important for us to really be able to be honest with ourselves to say that. It's hurtful sometimes to people when you're honest to that point. And just because you're able to sit down and say, listen, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. So I can't do this. Some people can't take that, you know, and I think that I'm at the stage of my life where I can say, okay, well, this is not working for me anymore. But like you said, the one thing I am true to, I tried every single thing before I get to that.
Right.
So once we had that conversation and you like, well, why didn't you do this? Well,
Right.
why didn't you try this? I will be able to say to you that we tried this, we discussed this, and we did that, and it's just not working, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just have to learn to be okay with that.
Somebody give.
Yeah, look at that. I love it. Yes, that's my cousin. She said yes. We love
Alright.
that. And listen, Taji Banks is saying that love is a choice, not a feeling. And when you choose to love, you will put in the work to make it work.
Now
don't know.
I don't really agree with that
This
too
is my
much
hand.
because it's like
Yeah.
I get it.
because you don't choose who you fall in love with.
You
though.
can't.
So how can you choose to love? Like
Right.
you know, you can choose not to love,
Right.
but
But you
how
can-
how can you really like you can block your blessings or whatever, but how could you stop from falling in love with
'Cause
someone?
you
So
can
hold
fall
on,
in
but
love with
listen,
someone.
there's a difference because she said you can love. Love is a choice, right? Being in love, that's two different things, and that's what
true.
we gotta understand. So I can choose to love you because I want to love you, right? I love you,
Well,
but
we're
am
talking
I
about
in love
being
with you?
in love.
Right? But that's what I'm saying. There's a difference, right?
Talking
So
about being in
it's a
love.
total, and that's what we have to understand. That just because you love somebody, don't mean that this is your forever. Because I love a lot of people that I'm not in love with anymore. You know what I mean? And so what? I love you. But I love you enough to let you go because this here ain't working, right? And it's okay for me to be alone right now at this time because at this stage of the game, with most of us, we are still learning ourselves. I understand that learning to love yourself takes time, but I don't believe that it should take you 15, 20 years. Now, if it's taking you all of the years to love yourself, you're not putting in enough work. The Bible said faith without works is dead. All right, so
Hey.
come on.
Hey!
Listen, Powerhouse Church, y'all up here, right? You see that, right? That was a Holy Ghost moment. Y'all saw that, right?
Yes.
But that's what the Bible says, right? So we're not going to sit and say that we're just going to be wishing and hoping for something to happen
Right,
and we're not going
right.
to put the work in for,
Yeah,
right?
right.
But I mean, that's just me, okay? a pretty young girl, right, out here trying to, you know, find her next step in life, and I'm taking my time. But in that process, I learned to love myself, and I also learned that whoever comes along, you're just adding to my already happiness.
You have to add.
Right.
Now
You're
adding
adding to my already
you
happiness.
gotta add.
You see what I'm saying? It's not like I don't need you to make me happy.
Right,
And so
right.
that's
You
where
gotta
people
add.
That's what
get
we
it
were
messed
saying
up.
last time.
Right.
If you need someone to make you happy,
That's
you're gonna
validation.
be, that's too much
That's it.
validation.
That's
You're going to be
validation.
too emotionally dependent
Right.
on someone,
Right.
which is not always fair
Right.
to somebody.
Right.
So
Right.
you can't
Right.
do that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
say that.
We
It's
say
true.
that
No,
right.
you can't.
We don't be like right.
Because,
Right.
as you were saying, some people
Right,
at
y'all.
certain times in their lives are not going to give you their all.
Right.
They may not be able to.
Right.
You know, men, especially like now with this pandemic, some men are not financially where they were. So now they feel a certain way.
Right. They
You
feel
may
less
have a
than.
death in your family. That person is going through it, but you're not understanding that they're not giving you the same all that you are. Now you have to pick up that slack. You still keep pouring your love into that person because you love them,
Right.
which can be difficult.
Right.
But
It
if
can.
you love them, you can still pour your love into them and help bring them
Bring it
back to where they need to be.
bring it back.
But if you're in love with them, it's not even effort.
It's
Right?
not.
When you
It's
in
not.
love with somebody, this thing is easy.
Right, I got
Right? You don't even have, you know it's not like a chore.
Right. It's
When
not.
if it's hard for you, you don't need to be doing it.
Exactly.
Because love is not hard.
Mhm.
Somebody up there who's from the Powerhouse Church, they said love is what? Come on, I need to read this because y'all know what love is. The Bible says it. Right? Come on, I need to see
Love
somebody.
is jitsu.
Because-
Love is
Come
kind.
on, bring in the word. Bring in the word, right?
Love
So
is
if
not
you, got,
boastful.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if you gotta work hard, right? If you got to work hard for it like that, then that's just, to me,
That's
I
too
feel
much
like
work.
that's not the way to go.
Mhm.
It's definitely not the way to go. Actually, let's see what we got going on. Women are waiting for a man to reach their potential, and they may never reach that. So, are you okay with where they are now? That is coming from Angelica, and Maddie is saying some people call love lust for economic reasons. Yeah, that's good. We had that posted up on the page the other day. Love or lust? Is there a difference?
I mean, look at during this time with so many people.
Love is
economically
patient.
not right.
Come on,
Hey,
love doesn't
yeah.
hurt. I see you, Emmy. That's it.
Love
That's
don't
why
hurt.
stay in a relationship
That's right.
just because financial reasons.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's another thing. A fear of what? Being alone.
Or
right?
right now we don't even have a choice.
Is that?
Some people
Listen,
right now don't
that
even
ain't-
have a
that ain't
choice.
right, but it's
It's true. Right
Listen,
now,
I
it's
told
real.
somebody
You don't have a
today though. I told
It's
somebody
real.
today, and this is the honesty. I get it, but I believe that God. I swear, I just believe that God is going to make a way out of no way. Because I could be with somebody right now just to be with them, so my rent could get paid on time. Or I can sit here and I can know that if I continue to work and I continue to trust in God, that He can do all things but fail. Right?
Mhm.
I believe that God is going to do that. That I'm not going to just be with somebody just to be with them. I'm just
No.
not going to do it. I have no time for it. And it may seem like, oh, she's cocky. I'm just not. I feel like I'm doing you a disservice and I'm doing myself a disservice. And I know what it feels like to be in something that you're no longer in.
Because trying to love you is now going to become effort because
Exactly.
I'm really not checked in.
Exactly. You know how many people are in a relationship that, like you said, that they checked out of. Sometimes people can leave a relationship and you be like, she don't even seem like it bothered her, because she done left him
Long time.
long time ago, and she got over that,
Mhm.
right? So why, as women or as men, because I know that there's some men in the same situation, why would we choose to do that? It is the fear of being alone.
Mhm.
And that's something that we really, really do have to think about. It's something that we really have to do some soul searching for.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
Soul searching for.
Right.
And I think it's important. It's one of the first steps. Really, that identification is one of the first steps to kind of seeing, get into a different place and really
Mhm.
being happy within yourself.
Mhm.
And trust me, I understand, because it is hard for us all.
Mhm.
We all work on the same job, so we know how hard it is.
Right.
Thank God we still have our jobs. But I definitely truly believe that what God said is meant for you is meant for you. And if you continue to believe and you continue to work, you continue to believe by faith, God will, all things are possible. Right?
Right.
So no matter how hard it is, I'm telling you, it's been times where I had no food. And I walk around and people have no idea. And then tomorrow, I have a refrigerator full of food. I've had people who just said, I want to bless you.
Mhm.
Just for no reason. You know what I mean? And so if I sat here and said, I just want to rely on this person because of financial reasons, then
wouldn't
what?
be fair.
Why be with somebody who he cheating on you anyway, right?
Yeah,
He got 6 other girlfriends out there anyway, and y'all just in the house. Why are we doing that? So why not be my roommate? Let's have, why we gonna do that? I'm
Make it
not
work.
doing it. You know, I'm not doing that. So, you know, I'm
That
not
the
mad.
relationship becomes a situationship.
Entanglement.
Entanglement.
It becomes an entanglement. It
Entanglement.
definitely becomes an entanglement, you know. But listen, I think that, you know, I think that this was a pretty dope conversation.
It was a
though.
pretty dope conversation. If y'all think it was a pretty dope conversation, let's do a vibe check. Give that thumbs up. Let me see them thumbs up.
You guys are going to come back and check us out for our
Okay,
next
okay.
If you think we should go
Hey,
live next time
hey.
instead of Zoom,
Somebody already hit me and was like they like the live better.
they like the live. Okay. See, we
I
can't
think
really
they
see
more
from
free
afar.
because they're more free to speak.
Right.
Okay.
And
You know?
nobody can see them.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. Come on,
Y'all
we
light it
love
up.
that.
Y'all light it up.
This is
Hey.
pretty dope, right?
That's what I love.
Listen.
I love it. I love it. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We cannot thank you enough for tuning in. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Go.
And we want you guys to send your comments or even your suggestions to our pretty dope conversation at gmail.com.
Mhm.
We also, hold on, let me do a couple of shout outs because I had a couple of people give us some gifts over here.
All right. Thanks,
Right,
thanks,
Gave
Harris.
us some gifts, right? Let me just put this up. This is Divinity's Christian Tees.
Hey,
Right?
unstoppable faith.
Unstoppable Faith. Everybody knows I love graphic tees. I love all kind of tees in a size medium, nice fitting, you know. That's how she like.
I like a medium too.
She like a medium
I know
too.
she is small.
But yeah, I hope that she's on. This is she's one of our officers at work. Her name is Nikki Violette. She should be on there. This is her business. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's Divinity. Anyway, this is her T-shirt that she has blessed us with. We have also.
We'll post a pic of the
Yeah.
business card and put it in a group.
Yeah, this is Anti-Basic Lifestyle. My girl Ikea the Bombshell. She has face masks and all of that. You know, I love gifts. She loves gifts. We all love gifts, right? So I'm just so glad that people just wanted to bless us with this stuff, and I am excited. So we want to listen. If you want to be a sponsor, hit us up on our email, prettydopeconversation@gmail.com. If you want to bless us with a gift, we will definitely shout you out and wear your
Bring
stuff.
that business to
That's
you.
right, and try to help you get business. You know,
Stay
especially
tuned,
another
stay
black
tuned
business.
for, I think it's Sour Patch Clothing or Printing.
Yeah,
Stay
Sour
tuned.
Patch Printing.
Stay
Yes.
tuned for
We
that.
got a lot of business owners here.
Stay tuned for Unique I Am. Stay tuned for that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So listen, we got a lot of things coming up for Women United. I see my people up here. I
Hey.
love you guys. I thank you for your support. I thank you for just trusting and believing in what God has instilled in us and has seeded in us. And I hope that we are doing justice to what it is that He has planted in us and starting. What is this saying? I am going to sponsor them. All right.
Oh,
We got a couple
wow.
of sponsors up there, but
Thank
we
you,
just hope
thank
that you
you.
guys, continue to pray for us and continue to believe
Thank
us
you.
and support us. And okay, and my cousin here, her Butter Boutique by Sanchez.
Yes.
You see, she wants to listen. She wants to bless the pretty dope conversation.
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
You see that?
Thank you. We are so appreciative for,
We
for
love
all
that.
of
And listen, we want to invite guests in. So if you want to be one of our guests and come in and have a conversation, we really want to invite some men in to have a conversation with us. We got a good topic, but we need to get the right people
Right.
in to have the conversation because it's
We
nothing
want
like
this
it
little.
when
We
you-
want to start lighting a fire a little bit, a little controversy or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. You know,
Yeah.
when
Hey,
no,
Yolanda.
when no answer is the wrong answer.
Right.
Hey, pretty
Right.
dope.
Yeah.
But we definitely gotta thank Keisha. We gotta thank Keisha for stepping out of her comfort
Yes.
zone and not letting her insecurities
Yes.
be a setback. You
Yes.
understand?
I'm not a talker.
We just
Yes, sir.
she's not a talker. I'm not a talker neither. I'm just an introvert that want to talk.
I'm sure pretty much. I'm
You know?
truly introvert.
Just
No.
an introvert
but
that
it's
want to
okay.
talk.
And
Okay?
I'm
But
just
this
shy.
is
I don't know
very
why
dope.
I'm up here.
Anyway.
I have to say, this is very dope. And thank you
They
guys
say
for
that I'm
having
not.
me.
I am shy.
You're not.
No, at all.
Yeah.
I am
You're
shy.
not. Oh,
It's like
yeah.
I am shy.
Everywhere.
You're not like us.
Exactly.
Don't
Exactly.
believe her. Don't believe her. But
But we wanna thank
listen,
y'all.
they said you were great, Keisha. Look at that. She was
Oh.
great.
Thank you.
See, Keisha, that see?
Melissa, I love you.
Melissa.
Give one of them Melissa hugs. Them good old Melissa hugs. or whatever.
That was good. But again, we thank you guys. We don't want to hold you up and take up too much of your time. But we hope that you will join us on September the 29th for another
Pretty dope conversation.
really dope conversation.
Hey,
Definitely dope.
all right.
Okay, bye.
Hey, 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 hey. We some pretty dope chicks with conversation, hot topics.